Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Makakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, pushing this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim scattered through the four corners of the globe, pushing the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim that be like unto the speckled bird, pushing the word truthfully and sincerely. And I say shalom to your Akim out there. And this is a quick sit-down lesson through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Yahushua on the September 15th, 2022, 9:12 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's Thursday night. And this is a news article from RT.com. It says Russia and China Joint Pacific Patrol. And it says the second joint drills near Japan features 7 Russia and China naval ships. And it says Russia and China vessels are taking part in a joint patrol in the Pacific Ocean for the second time within a year, and the Defense Ministry in Moscow said on Thursday. And it was 8 ships in total are taking part in the operation, which is extended to support peace and stability in the Asia Pacific, monitoring sea lanes. Salaki momentarily. It has 8 ships in total are taking part of the operation. Is extended to support stability, peace and stability in the Asia Pacific. Which is extending Pacific monitors and seas and lanes and the safeguard maritime economic access of 2 countries. The second joint patrol since October of 2021 is a part of a program international military operation. Military cooperation with Russian Defense Ministry said in a statement. It says the 2 Russian Defense says in a statement the 2 Navy will conduct joint tactical maneuvers establishing communications and conduct a series of exercises from the potential Salakia momentarily once again. Salakia for the interruption. And it says, representing the Russian Pacific Fleet is a fragile Marshal Sapolsky Coverts. And it says in a representation, the Russian Pacific Fleet is a fragile Marshal Shapolskazov Coverts, Sovereign and Gromky and Aldar Taskabosky, and the medium naval tank of Peskanevska. Salakia, couldn't pronounce the names right, but continuing on with the reading. It says Moscow said the People's Liberation Army Navy plan set the destroyer of Nashkin, the frigate Niching, and the supply ship Dongpanko. While the Russian Defense Ministry did not specify the area of operations for the joint patrol, in a video shared the Telegram, Pacific Fleet Deputy Commander Askelenstov Bagdasarov mentioned the Sea of Okhotsk north of Japan. During the Pacific, during the previous drills in 2021, the Russia-China naval group sails over 1,700 nautical miles, including a passage through the Seychelles Strait between the Japanese home islands of Honshu and Haradako. The Joint Navy mission comes on the heels of the Vostok 2022, the week-long war games in Russia Far East involving more than 50,000 troops from 13 countries, including the Major General Vladimir Monoskov. The purpose of the event is to create a coalition force that could plan and implement a special operation aimed at ensuring peace and security in the region. So, after I believe China and Russia and Iran, they had their little meetings day before yesterday, as I did a video on it. That goes to show you the continuing cooperation between the nations, especially with Russia and China, and then with Iran included in it as well too. So these nations are definitely joining allegiance with one another, especially Russia and China, along with Iran in it as well too, to go against their adversaries of the United States and South Korea and Japan as well too. So yeah, these tensions are definitely stirring, as you see the second joint drill near the Japan featured 7 Russian and Chinese naval ships, as you see the continual increase of the joint exercise drills, military training exercise drills, military ground troop exercise joint drills increasing now more than ever. Even if it might be a training, this is still a continuing preparations of the nations are gearing up, preparing for war, which is recorded in the book of Joel 3 and 9. Prepare war, wake up the mighty man. That's what we're seeing, increasing. Let the weak say I'm strong, which is in the book of Joel 3 and 10. In Revelations 11 and 14 is definitely increasing. Second woe is past, behold, the third woe coming quickly. And Yahweh Shemel Shai is definitely going to put that warlike type spirit in these Russians and these other nations as well too, So these wars are rumors of wars, and nations rising against nations, kingdom against kingdoms, commotions of wars, clash wars. You name it, it's definitely increasing. Slocky again momentarily. Salakia, just a sec. Give me just about 1.5 minutes. I'll be done. Salaki. Bear with me just a second. So yeah, you're gonna have these things definitely gonna increase, between the nations and different kingdoms, as you see the increase of these military joint exercise drills are increasing now more than ever. And as you see right here, the highlight of this news article, as I just brung it out, Russia and China launch joint Pacific patrols. And this is the second joint drills near the Japan featured in 7 Russia and Chinese naval ships. So, similar situations like this is going to increase. It's that build up of that second war was passed, behold, third war coming quickly. Because you're going to have continuing joint Navy military exercise drills, military ground troop training, nations firing their missiles, testing air missiles, hypersonic missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles testing, nations purchasing military equipment. They're going to have increase in upgrades of anti-missile defense, all different types of things that are going to increase more and more in the latter days. So these are continuing build up of the nations rising up against another nation as well too, and different kingdoms rising up against different kingdoms as well too. So it's going to further more and increase and including now more than ever. And this is the book of Revelations 11 and 4. I mean Salaki. 11 and 14, not 11 and 4. Misquoted that, Salaki. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 11, verse 14. The second war was past, behold, the third war coming quickly. Right, because we're seeing signs of that. Second war was past, and third war coming quickly. Matthew 24 and 7. And I'm going to start at 6, then I'm going to go to verse 7. Matthew 24 and 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. In verse 7. For nation shall rise against nations, and kingdom against kingdoms. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places, right? Because we're seeing the continual increase of the nations nonstop, increasingly going against one another, increasingly against one another. You might have nations that's allies with one another, tag teaming against their adversaries as well too. So these things are definitely going to build up and increase more and more and more. You're going to see, like I mentioned before, the commotions of wars, the proxy wars, the endless proxy wars on and off. Sometimes it might be peace and stability for momentarily, but things are going to increase and escalate as well too between the nations and different kingdoms as well too. So with that, this was just a quick sit down lesson. Salakia once again for the momentarily pause. I was doing something, but Lord willing, Thawadi Habashim Shai, I was able to finish on with the video of the sit down lesson. So I hope it was edifying through the spirit, power, rest, and mercy of Hawaii Shai, as I continue to do sit down lessons in regards to the wars and rumors of wars and nations rising up against nations, as we starting to see this increasingly now more than ever on an everyday basis, as we see these things in the news, So with that, I will say Shalom in the Ball. Oh, and one more time, I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Makakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And shalom to the Akim scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And until next time, I will say shalom and a ball.